everyone. I just filmed the paper version of this budget. So if you're just joining this video now, hello, welcome. But in my last video, which should be uploaded literally just before this video, I went through my most recent paycheck, but I kind of separated how I wanted everything on paper, and now I'm putting it all into my online budget. Yeah, so currently I'm on this screen, but I'm actually going to start on the transaction screen. In case you didn't watch the past video, let me just do a quick little summary of what this is. So I got a job. Yes, I'm just saying it now just in case you didn't watch the past video, but yeah, I got a job and I'm going to be paid bi-weekly, and I actually got my first paycheck because I kind of came into this job when it's like the middle of the pay period. This is just, it's not like a full paycheck, but it is in the sense of that time period. Does that make sense? I don't know. I've done too much talking today already. But yeah, so that's gonna be why it looks a little bit lower than it normally will probably be. Yeah, just so you know, it's just a small paycheck this time around. And like I mentioned, I'm getting paid bi-weekly, and it will end up being about the second Friday of the month and the last Friday of the month. And how I'm going to set up my budgeting is I'm going to do the last Friday of the month, as in the last paycheck of that month, is actually going to be budgeted as the first paycheck of the next month. And then the first Friday, and no, not the first, the second Friday paycheck, which is technically the first paycheck I receive in the month, is actually going to be the second paycheck of that month. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, let me know and I'll try to explain it better in upcoming videos or in the comments. But so that's what I'm kind of getting at here, is that this is my September number 2 budget because it's the second one that I'm using in September. I will be paid one more time in September, but that final September paycheck will be used towards my October budget. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if not, please just let me know, and we'll go from there. Yeah. In the next video, I'm hoping to kind of go through like putting in expenses a little bit more, but like I have shown you in other videos, I don't have much money right now, so this is just like starting and only little expenses. But if you're curious, you can kind of see how I'm setting it up. I'm currently in my transaction tab. Over here, you can see I don't have much right now, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the money. And so I was paid on Friday, so I'm going to put it in right here, Friday. And this was a paycheck. Yes, so this was a paycheck. And I mentioned it in my past, I can't speak. I mentioned it in my past video, but this paycheck was $654.98. Not too bad. Not too bad. I kind of like it. Yeah, that's my income. And I'm going to say paycheck. So yeah, this is my September budget. Yeah, so I already know if you watch my previous online budget, you're probably going to get confused with like the dates when I start doing paychecks. But let's not think about that right now. When the time comes, I will explain it. But just for now, just understand that this is my paycheck of September, and this is the only one that I'm going to be including besides this one. So this is what I'm considering my first paycheck of September. This is the one I'm considering for my second paycheck of September. All of the details of putting in the numbers and everything, I'm going to go over to my monthly expense budget and kind of show you how this is going. So over here, you can see we're still in September, and right here is my paycheck and my extra money that I had. And first, we're going to look over here, my total expected expenses. These ones I'm just going to summarize because they're not super important in this video. Probably when I do my first paycheck of the month, that's when they're more important. But as you can see over here, my total expected expenses this month were $916. And I've actually spent $196 so far. I've only put $294 of all of this money into my savings, but I'm about to put more in. And my money currently in my savings is this much because I did spend some of my savings. So right now, according to this is my current net worth. I like to say net worth. I don't know if that's the right term, but this is like how much money physically I should have. Um, but it might change a bit. So we're gonna see. As I told you, this is my like online budget. I'm still getting used to like I made it. Like I made this whole thing all by myself, but like there's still some like little things that I'm like, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. Yeah. But we're not gonna worry about it now. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go into my monthly expenses and update the budgeted number. Again, if you're confused, watch my last video. But what I'm doing with this money is this was my first paycheck. And like I mentioned, my first paycheck of the month, like my first budget, that will pretty much cover most of my bills, loans, monthly expenses, like this stuff. Um, so that makes my second paycheck, this is mostly going to be in my savings account. So when I start to do these like more regularly, you'll see that my first paycheck will mostly be in this slide, my monthly expense slide and transaction, so I can put it in. But my second paycheck will mostly be in my savings slide. But because I did want to add a little bit of this current paycheck to my monthly expenses, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not adding anything to bills or loans because this money right here covers this. I've already budgeted for it, so I'm all set here. Okay, so first, like I mentioned, I am going to, I only have $1.63 left in my food budget for the month of September. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding $10 to it. So this will become 42. Yes. And so on my paper, I have written down that this should be $11.63. Yes. So you can see that here. Oh, notice some of this stuff changed. We'll go more into that with the next one. Like I said with cafes, I'm also adding $10. Oh, what was that? So that should be 30, and that should make this become $13.67. Okay, so as you can see, that has left this much money, so left to budget, into my savings account. Again, this is more for the first paycheck, so we're not really paying attention to this. We're more paying attention to this, okay? So we want this number now to be 0, and that's what I did during my written budget. So I already know that I can get this down to 0, but if like I didn't decide to write it down on paper, I could just look here and kind of base it off there. So I'll kind of show you that there. All right, so what we're going to look now, so this isn't going to change, this isn't going to change. This shouldn't change because this is the money that should go into savings. So as you can see over here, money to put into savings and money currently in savings. So this number should equal this number once we are done putting all of my budget, and this should be 0. I know it's a little confusing. It makes sense in my brain, and I'm trying my best to explain it to you to make sense. I don't know if it is. I'm hoping it will. And just to quickly show you, I haven't paid any of these yet, so that's why they're not checked off. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go into my savings, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what I have in each one. I said I was not going to do that on my paper budget, so I'm just showing you on my online budget. But I have $0 in my savings, $10 in emergencies, $7.53 in my trips, $0 in my gifts, $20 in my Christmas, $0 in birthdays, $100. So this is not true. This is actually $28.29 in my current savings. So this is the number that we're actually going to look at when there's money, because this is how much I currently have. This is how much towards my goal I have. But like I mentioned, most of this I haven't spent, nor have I actually saved anything for. So that's why I was a little confused. This is, I think, the only one I've spent money in. Yeah, this is 0 for my self-care, 0 for medical savings, $10 for our future, me and my boyfriend. Again, we don't know when we're getting married, but I have $0 saved towards that. I have $20 currently saved towards our 6-month trip. This might get pushed out a little bit further, so it might be 7-8 months trip. $0 towards my advance rent. I will get back to this one because I have $67. I'll get back into this in a bit. And $60 for like extra money towards my loans. So what we're going to do now is, you can see this. This is all going to update after I go over to my transaction tab, and we're going to put this money in. Okay, so first of all, in my savings, we're going to put it in September 14th, and this is going to be savings. Where's my savings? I don't know how to make this alphabetical, so it's just weirdly set up, so bear with me. Savings, I'm putting in $200, and this is adding to my savings, and I'm just going to say adding from paycheck. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and copy that because we'll use that more. Then we're going to, before I go into the rest, let me just show you how that changed that. So if we go to savings, you can now see I have $200 saved towards my goal, only 1%. This is how much per month I should be saving, but I'm not at the moment just because I'm still starting out and everything. The only ones I'm really pressured to save towards each month is this, but even this, because I don't think I'm going to spend $1,000. That's just an estimate. Like I said, I'm starting this in September, this online budget. So yeah, so that's what it's kind of looking like now, but this is going to be more important in the future. Yeah, so I've saved $200 towards my goal, 1%. You can see it's got a little bit of green right here, and then currently have $200 because I didn't spend any of my savings this month. All right, so let's quickly go through the rest. So today, I'm only putting it in today. It's my emergency fund, and I'm going to put $10 in, and savings, add, and I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so let's go through them, and then I'll go back to the savings tab, and you can see that all there. All right, next is trips, and I'm putting $20 in. And this is savings, adding from my paycheck. And before I go through the rest, I'll show you over here. Remember how this was like in the 600s? You can see now it's going down. We want this to be zero, exactly zero. So if we get this to zero, that means I'm doing the math right and everything is adding up exactly how I want it to be. So let's see if this does end up being zero. And you can see over here, my net worth is going up as well as how much I currently have in my savings. And this is just for this month. You can see my little note here. All right, let's go back into my transactions. All right, we were at trips. Next, we're going to put some money into gifts. All right, let's go and put money into my gifts. And I'm only going to put $10 in there. All right, savings, add, and adding from paycheck. What's the next one? I should really separate like my expense tab and my savings tab, but that's too much brain power for the current moment. So we're not going to do that. But right now, I do have a lot of like, what's it called? Column? Rows? Rows. I have a lot of rows, but it's just a lot of work, and I know I'm going to hate scrolling down every time, but it's whatever. All right, next, I have $125 going into my Christmas fund because I do want to save for that, and that's coming up. Oh my gosh, we're almost, are we? Yeah, we're like halfway through September almost, which is crazy, I think, because I just felt like it just started, which is crazy. Let's go to birthdays. And again, this was a small one, only put $5 in there. Savings, add, and adding from paycheck. Probably in the future, I think I'm going to combine like my savings add. Like this was because it was my starting amount. I wanted to put it here, but I'm thinking I'll just put these all like together per month. So like if I did this the 1st of September and then another 200 after, I just would make this 400. I'm thinking, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. So then we're going to go over here and we're going to go to, what's our next one? Clothing. All right, clothing is only going to be $15 I'm putting in. Let's go to savings, add, and adding from paycheck. Self-care is next. So today, self-care, and we are only putting in $10. This is adding to my savings, and I'm adding from the paycheck. Next one is medical savings, and we're going to go down here. Like I said, I'm not really saving much for this one at the moment. $10, adding to savings, and adding from my paycheck. All right, next one, our future. So this is for me and my boyfriend later in the future if we want to like save for a house, anything in that nature. If we have kids or stuff, I'm putting stuff there. $30, savings, add, and add from paycheck. Next is wedding. Same thing. We aren't getting married like anytime soon, but saving is probably going to be best if I can do that now. So saving $30 towards that. Adding from paycheck. Next one is 6-month trip. So we're adding it today. 6-month trip. And we are going to be putting in $109.98. That's a big one because I want to save for that. Adding from paycheck. Next one is the advance rent. So we're going to go down here and then we're going to put $10 in. Savings add and adding from paycheck. And then the last one is the loans, because I will explain the joint account in a second. And I'm putting $50 into my loans account and savings adding from paycheck. Okay, so that should be all of that. So real quickly, first of all, I'm still getting used to this YouTube thing. So like if I don't know how to talk, like sorry, I don't know. I feel like I just go, here's what I'm doing, done, 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 done. So I can see how it's frustrating to some people. Like maybe they want to listen to me talk about stories. I don't know. You tell me. But for right now, you're just getting me doing random rambles, if that makes sense. And then like I don't know how to talk in between this. So yeah. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here. Look, this got down to 0. So that means we budgeted it all correct and we're good to go. This is all the same, so you can see how much I have left over here. I still have to pay my bills, but these dates haven't come yet, so that's a later thing. I've already paid my student loan this month. I have my income. These aren't important for this video really. If you're curious, this is how much I'm expecting to spend. But this is how much I've actually spent. This month in September, I've put $929 into my savings account. And because I have spent some of the money, I currently only have $857 in my savings account. Not too bad. And this is my current net worth. Again, it's not my total net worth because I have money in my other account. I just have to transfer it over. But this is currently how much I have, and it's not too bad. Yeah, so this is like all the money I have to my name. But yeah. And so I just want to quickly talk about this. This is my joint account. So I put it in my bills because each month I put money aside a certain day. But when I pay this bill, I'm not losing this money, if that makes sense. I'm actually going to be like updating my savings account, because the one in my savings account over here, let me scroll down to that. Whoopsies, that was too far. My joint account is just like, this is just to keep track of how much I have. This isn't like separately, like I have to put it in each month, but that's what this is. And that's why I didn't put any money in it right now, because it's considered a bill to me, even though it's not really a bill. But anyways, before I finish this video, let's kind of go through how my savings are looking, how much I have saved. Yeah, so over here I have $200 saved, 0 spent, only 1% saved. My emergency, $20 saved, so 0.2% saved towards my goal. Trips, I have 0.55% saved towards my goal. Again, I didn't put too much in there. My gifts, I have 1% saved towards my goal. Christmas though, look at this. This is all green because I have saved $145 towards my goal of $1,000, which isn't too bad. I don't think I'm going to save $1,000, but it'd be great if I could. Yeah, going down, I have saved 0.5% of my birthday fund. This is for every birthday. And like I said, I have no other birthdays I really need to save for in the year of 2025. So that's why this one's just a little one. Maybe next year it will be more aggressively saved for. Clothing, I have saved $115 towards my goal. However, because of me spending some of that money, I currently only have $43 I can spend in that. Yeah. So that's just, I can look here and know how much I have, but to me, like I've saved towards my goal of $1,000 that much. Down here, I have self-care, $10 saved towards my goal. Medical savings, I have $10 saved towards my goal. Our future, me and my boyfriends, I have $40 saved towards my goal, so 0.4%. the wedding, 0.12% save towards how much I want to save. And again, we don't know how much a wedding will cost for us. And obviously we're going to split the cost, but this is just like a cushion amount about like, oh yeah, if I save this much, then I'll feel fine about it. But like, obviously I think this is going to be us combined. I don't know how much a wedding costs at this time in the day, but that's okay. I have $30 saved towards it. That's all that matters. Next, over here, you can see I have $129, about 2% saved towards our 6-month goal. I have $10 saved towards my advanced rent goal. My joint account, I talked about this previously. This is just how much I have in this account saved. This will go up as me and my boyfriend save together. Loans, I currently have $110 saved towards this goal, which not too bad. I'll use this eventually someday, probably when loans like they kick back in and everything. I've gone through them in previous videos, so please go and watch those if you're really, really confused on what I'm talking about, if I'm speaking complete gibberish and you're like, why isn't she going through all of the things? Like, I want to know about everything. No, that's in previous videos, but just to give you a rundown, let me do Christmas. Christmas is a good one, or the clothing one. Let's do Christmas. I have $1,000 I want to save by Christmas. So this is my deadline. I have saved $145 towards that goal. I have 3 months left to save. Technically, I should have put $285 in, but it's okay. That's okay. Again, like I said, I'm starting this kind of late, so I don't think I'm going to get $1,000, but like in the future, this is how much I probably would take from that paycheck and put towards that goal. But right now it's not a big deal. I've saved 14.5% of what I need to save, and I still have 85% left to save for. And like I said, this is the final goal I'm saving towards. And I don't want to be like getting further away from it every time I spend money. So that's why I have saved towards the goal, but then I have how much I've spent towards that goal and how much I physically have left. It's confusing. It will probably make more sense the further we go. But for now, that's kind of how it is. But yeah, that's pretty much this video. It's a lot shorter than the other videos just because, like I said, I explained it in a previous video, so if you're curious, please go and watch that. I don't know, how are you guys liking this like setup? Let me know. I'm down to hear all of your comments. Anything, any advice you could give me, I'll listen. So yeah, please let me know and I'll take it into consideration and try to make my videos more like that in the future. But for now, that's kind of a wrap on this paycheck. Yeah, this is exciting. We're getting into the savings and it's great. I can't wait to see how much more I can save. Thank you for following along on my journey and I can't wait to see you in the next video. All right, bye.